Picture this. Somewhere on this planet, a real modern city is alive right now. Hundreds of thousands of people. Homes, roads, hospitals, shops, jobs, families. Every morning they drink coffee, drive to work, flip on the lights. But this city appears on no map. Not one satellite image. No drone, no radar, no database confirms it even exists. Is that actually possible today? Not in theory, not in a movie, for real. The first idea sounds obvious. Pick somewhere remote, paint the roofs to match the ground, drape entire blocks in netting and special coatings to fool a human eye scanning a photo from space. That's how militaries hid installations for decades, so maybe that's enough. But here's the first trap. Modern satellites don't see the world the way a human does. Alongside ordinary color images, they capture infrared radiation, radio waves, dozens of bands invisible to us. You can paint a roof to match the desert. Fooling a dozen independent instruments at once is a different problem entirely. Fine, someone might say. What if you don't hide the city on the surface, but inside it? Build it into a mountain or underground, like one giant buried organism. No roofs, no streets, no cars in sight. Problem solved? Not quite. To carve out space for a city that size, you have to remove a colossal volume of rock. That rock can't just vanish. It has to go somewhere, piled up, stored. And a growing mound of excavated earth is one of the most visible, most recognizable signatures on the planet's surface. There are AI systems trained specifically to spot exactly this kind of pile from orbit, because it behaves just like a quarry or a mine. A mountain that sheds millions of tons of earth for years stops looking like a mountain. And that's just construction. Building a real city takes years of concrete, steel, machinery, workers pouring in. That volume of activity is almost impossible to hide. Not in freight, not in material production, not in the movement of people. The very act of building the city gives it away long before the first light turns on inside it. But say you somehow pull that off too. The city is built. And now the real problem starts. The one almost nobody thinks of first. A city isn't just buildings. It's a living organism that never stops radiating heat. Human bodies, engines, factories, heating, cooling, appliances, all of it pouring thermal energy outward around the clock. A city of a few 100,000 people burns through as much energy as a small country. That heat can't be switched off, not even for one night. And instruments built to catch infrared from orbit see it just as clearly by day, by night, even through light cloud. A painted roof might fool a camera. It can't cool down to bare ground temperature while a million people sleep beneath it. So you'd have to hide the heat itself. In theory, that's possible. You could pump excess heat deep underground, bleed it into large bodies of water, spread it across a wide enough area that the temperature difference drops below detection. Engineering-wise, it can be done, but the price tag is brutal. Systems like that demand space, energy, and money on the scale of building a second city just to conceal the first. And even with the heat muffled, one witness remains: radar. Unlike a camera, radar needs no light and no clear sky. It sends a signal and listens for the echo. And the echo bouncing off straight lines, sharp angles, regular geometry, off streets, blocks, buildings, looks nothing like the echo off natural terrain. Nature rarely builds right angles. Cities almost never build anything else. There are coatings that absorb radio signals, the same ones used to make military aircraft harder for radar to see. So maybe you coat the whole city the same way. But a stealth aircraft is one surface, a few dozen meters across. A city is thousands of roofs, roads, walls, vehicles, stretched over miles. Coating all of it with the same flawless material is a problem of a completely different order, and it collapses the whole idea of cheap, reliable camouflage. Say you somehow beat that too. But a real city can't exist in total silence. It needs communication. Phone signals, wireless networks, banking transfers, navigation, internet, all of it electromagnetic waves, leaking outward no matter how well the walls are disguised. And the instruments built to catch and trace those signals have existed for decades, getting sharper every year. You could try cutting wireless entirely, bury every wire underground, but that creates its own paradox. A spot with zero signal of any kind, sitting in the middle of the modern world, becomes its own kind of suspicious, blank space. Total silence like that usually isn't empty land. It's land somebody's deliberately hiding. And even if you beat the heat, the radar, and the signals, the city still has to eat, drink, and get rid of its waste. Food, water, fuel have to get in somehow. Trash, sewage, finished goods have to get out somehow. Moving cargo at that scale leaves a trail, in traffic, in shipping, in consumption data, in the strain it puts on nearby infrastructure. And modern economic systems track almost everything. A sudden, unexplained spike in electricity, water, or food consumption in one region is a flag that automated analytics catch, even if not a single person ever looks at a satellite photo of the place. And now, the strangest trace of all. A massive city pulls colossal volumes of groundwater out of the earth every single day. And there are satellites built to detect the tiniest shifts in Earth's own gravity caused by that much water mass vanishing from underneath one patch of ground. A city can fool a camera, it can fool radar, it can even fool a thermal sensor, but it has almost nothing that can fool the planet's gravity itself. There's another layer of surveillance people rarely think about. Some satellites exist purely to catch the faintest light on the planet's surface at night, down to a single car's headlights on an empty road. Total darkness, where even a faint glow has shown up for decades, looks just as strange an anomaly as a bright new light appearing where there used to be nothing. Put it all together, and the real point comes into focus. Detecting a city today doesn't come down to one instrument you can outsmart. It's the product of dozens of independent systems: thermal, radar, gravitational, economic, signal-based, constantly cross-checking each other through artificial intelligence. Beat one layer, the next one catches you. Which means hiding a city from all of them at once stops being a question of good camouflage. And here, the investigation takes an unexpected turn. Maybe the goal was never to erase every trace of the city. That, it turns out, really is impossible. Maybe the only approach that actually works isn't disappearance, it's dissolution. Not the absence of a trace, but a trace indistinguishable from the noise already there. Imagine, instead of a separate hidden city, its heat, its power draw, its traffic woven evenly into the edges of an already massive metropolis nearby. Then its signature doesn't read as something new and suspicious. It reads as ordinary noise from a big, familiar city everyone already knows. Real invisibility turns out to be not physical disappearance, but statistical camouflage. The skill of looking exactly like something nobody bothers to question anymore. But even that solution has a ceiling. This approach doesn't hide a city completely. It only lowers its visibility to a point where nobody digs deeper. That's not the same as a true 100% vanishing act from every map and every instrument. And honestly, admitting that makes the answer to the original question clear. Hiding a real, living, modern city entirely, without a single trace, is not possible with today's technology, or with anything close on the horizon. Because the very reason a city can be found is the exact same reason it's a city at all. Heat, light, water, signals, the movement of people and goods, these aren't side effects of a city's life. They are its life. Erasing every one of those traces completely would mean stopping the city's exchange with the world around it entirely. And a place that has stopped breathing, eating, drinking, glowing, and speaking to the outside world stops being a city long before anyone could even try to hide it.